Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Avery's Adventures. I'm Avery. These are my adventures. Today, we're not going anywhere. We're working on this bad Larry. So, we're going to revive it a little. We're going to need to go ahead and fix the brakes on it. The brake lines are cut right there. The master cylinder needs a U-joint in the rear. And then, she also needs some floor pans. We'll see if we need anything else along the way. If you saw our last video, then you saw she is already a runner. We just got to fill up our gas tank, which I think has a little bit in it, battery in it, whirl on the key a little, and she's good to go. There's just no brakes. So we're going to try and get her roadworthy today. So, stay tuned. Alright, so I got a number of assorted wrenches up here. This one's a 9/16. I'm going to go ahead and knock this broken line off of here. And then what I'll end up doing is taking this bit to the hardware store. And I've got the master cylinder off of the red Chevy that we scrapped. It's the exact same master cylinder, and we can take both of them with us, match up the nut, the line, the fitting, and everything, and then possibly come back, put a nut on each one of these lines here, re-flare them, and put them back into the master cylinder. But I'm also going to cut a section off of each one of these lines because they're kind of, I don't know, this is a massive hard line, and to me it just looks a little bit bigger diameter than this line right here. So I want to make sure to get a nut that's for this size line that'll go into this box cylinder. It's more of a box shape than a cylinder, even though the cylinder's at the bottom. Oh, come on, there we go. Well, you guys, down here in the belly of the beast, so we gotta get this U-joint changed in this rear drive shaft. It's gonna be a bit of pain. I think first things first is we need to check and make sure all these bolt holes are nice and clear, although I can't clean the threads at the moment. Got it to turn. Helps if the transfer case is in neutral. How in the world did I manage that so quick? Come on. That's one out. Oh lordy. There's nothing but dirt in here. I don't even see a clip. I don't like that. So I can make something happen here. 'Cause that is cover. Oh, wow! I am amazed Come on. There we go. Both spring caps out. Whenever you need to smack something, always use your black sockets, because you know they're made for impacts. Ha! Let's see here. Well, if that doesn't hurt my ears, I don't know what does. Hopefully we get something to budge out of that. I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling here a little bit, guys. I honestly wouldn't mind knocking the whole drive shaft out. I wanted to get y'all in here and to see the bottom of that bolt. That's why I'm not even going to try and undo it, because there's nothing to undo. These threads are gone. Like, where? Where'd you go? Alright, so we finally got this drive shaft out here. As far as she's gonna go. We good. Come on. Wiggle your way on out. Junk. Now the trick is getting it in here without destroying it or getting everything absolutely disgustingly horrible. Better than it was. This is the same size, right? Yep. Alright. Let me slip that side in. Try not to make contact with anything, but guaranteed that I will. I'm gonna slide the side up in here. Now I gotta try and keep the needle bearings from getting all out of whack. Thought we were friends, don't roll away! To seat all the way in. And I did put WD-40 in here to just got some lubrication, even though I wiped it out.
Now we've driven the U-joint back up in without losing any of the needle bearing. I'm impressed with myself because I usually mess this up. I used my noggin this time, guys. Put that snap ring in. And the reason I have this socket down here is because the socket is flat here, and where it's not, I don't want to push on the cap at this angle because it'll push it in at the wrong angle. By putting the socket here, it's putting the angle on the socket here at the bottom instead of up here, and still directing the force up into the cap. It's definitely the right way to tighten that up.
Sometimes I feel like all I do is ride the struggle bus. Alright. What? Is it actually gonna work? Those are in, snug as a bug in a rug. Now that the U-joint's in, I'm going to come back to the pillow block here in a little bit, just because I gotta go get the bolts for them. I completely forspaced on that when I was at the part store. Let's move back up to the brake system and get that worked out.
Alright, so we got a bag of goodies. Not all this is for here. One's a receipt. Brake flaring kit. Nuts. Don't eat those. Oh, that one's open. And more nuts. They're trying to go everywhere. And an RO filter. Oh, what did I just drop? I bet all the spare pieces that I took in to match stuff up. So this goes, I'm just kidding. So, what we are gonna do is flare this, and then we will, well, we're gonna put nuts on first. And we're just gonna go zoop, straight into the master cylinder. Alright guys, so I got some flares made. They are not perfect. I'm really hoping that they don't leak. I'm just gonna torque these bad Larrys down and see what happens. After this, I guess we'll go ahead and change the oil, because the other option is to run back on down to the hardware store and buy a set of bolts for our pillow block on the drive shaft. Usually I would let this thing run, let it get up to temp first, and let all the sludge come out of it, but we've already ran this girl the other day, so I'm not going to make too much of a fuss about it, and I'm just going to change it. Oh yeah, look at that black sludge coming out. Go ahead and tighten her back up. Didn't really see any chunks or anything come out of there, which looked really good. It was all just oil. Well, we've got the funnel in, we got the filter change down there. Went ahead and just got that done. Dropped some oil on my arm. So we're gonna go ahead and fill her up. Don't get on me. There we go. All gone. Thank you for eating all your food, girl. Oh, gee. Let's put those back up on here. Sit down. And I thought this was pretty sweet. Notice the air cleaner lid said Moroso. Just hadn't seen that before. Seen a ton of Edelbrocks, Hollies. Never seen one that says Moroso. And got this cool MW logo. Alright, so I got our 2 bolts. Got some wrenches. Let's climb under here and get our drive shaft hanging by itself. And you guys might be wondering, well, why are you using 2 regular wrenches? Why don't you just go ahead and grab an impact? Because I don't know, like a ratcheting driver, electric driver. It's because this thing is absolutely covered in rust. And as soon as I get down here with the impact, and it goes duh-duh, oh my god, everything is going to fall on me, and I don't really appreciate that. So we're just gonna go with these. Easy enough. It's kind of hard to see, but right there, I'm trying to break this guy free. So first things first, I'm gonna twist on him just a little.
Nothing. Don't want to budge. I don't want to break them off or anything, so we got the good fire. Although I'm pretty sure my regular propane can, we got more fuel in it and get hotter than this thing at this point. Oh. It feels like we're getting somewhere.
Well, I'm glad I was able to actually get this bleeder out. If it'll focus, you can see that little rough spot at the very bottom of the bleeder, right there where the sparkles are at the bottom. But that's actually the inlet port for the top side to let the bleeder bleed. So I'm gonna pull all 4 bleeders out, make sure they're not clogged. I got more bleeders, so even if I can't get this unclogged, I'll replace them all. So let me see about getting on this unclogged, and we'll move on to the other side.
This side looks a little worse. Let's see what. Still feels pretty heck shaped. Nope. I don't like pushing on them too much whenever I don't have any give from them. Oh, there we go.
All right, I got this one out, and she is clear. I can blow through it. So we'll stick this one back in. 2 more to go.
Well, the devil himself must have sent this truck for me to work on it. Because if you look all the way, I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see up in there. Well, pretty much, there's a brake line all the way back up in there. Oh, you can barely see it right there above that line fitting. It's a 10mm nut. I gotta get the torch in there, torch that thing, and then get a wrench on it and break it loose somehow. So let's have some fun.
Watch that for me. Don't let the torch fall.
No. Guys, it's a success. telling me that easy. Oh, bad news bears, guys. Right there. You can see it. The line is no good. Right there. So then I'm going to cut it right up here. And I'll cut it back here somewhere. And we'll get a new section line and put it in.
Well, it's not right, but there's a new section of brake line in, and it works. We're holding fluid. So I went around and I already popped the top on the master cylinder. And it did feel somewhat better. Oh, I can feel it's like it's coming around. I think we're gonna need some more fluid in there and a bleed on the rear, but we're still not getting anywhere with the front. And to believe that proportioning valve down there under the fan is our culprit. So never worked with one of those before, but it could be shutting off the brakes to the front. I don't see anywhere that there is a leak, so we're just gonna see what we can figure out real quick, and I'll get back with you guys. I don't want y'all to sit here while I'm just trying to figure things out. Well, it's been 2 hours and 48 handfuls of brake fluid later. I can confirm that the front brakes do indeed have fluid. The bottom line was a huge pain to get back on, which is the front right caliper. So there's tons of brake fluid coming out of it when I push the brake pedal. So that should mean we should be able to get fluid to this front right caliper. If not, the only thing that I can possibly think of is if maybe this hose is collapsed, which we're probably never getting off, if you can hear that. So, got me scratching my heads here, wondering, how do I get fluid, juice down to these calipers? Could it just be a bad master cylinder? It's pushing it to the rear. Guess I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back at it again this morning. So, after talking to some friends and tracing the lines from the proportioning valve down there, I actually have these lines backwards. I knew this was supposed to be the front brakes, and this is supposed to be the rear brakes. The rear brakes has a 1/4 inch line, which you would think would be for the front brakes because it's bigger, but no, the front brakes is a smaller 3/16 line. So I guess I'm going to undo these and just go ahead and cut them off and reflare them. So let's do this again. Well, for once I finally actually made a good flare. So then, out of my way, we're gonna just manhandle or woman handle, whichever you prefer. We both got strong enough hands to move brake lines. And well, I've ended up doing a little bit of work off camera just because I'm just trying to diagnose this, and it takes a lot more time to try and go back and forth with the camera. I know this brake fluid doesn't look good, but it is coming out of the master cylinder here. And the problem is you can pump the brakes, and once you pump the brakes up, you can take your foot off of the brake pedal and watch it squirt back into the rear reservoir. Well, I guess just sit right here and tell me if fluid comes out. Well, why didn't you tell me? Now, we just saw fluid come out of this line. Now, if I take this hose and I go, what in the world? I don't understand. Now I gotta replace this whole line and this hose. Well, since we clipped that line off right there, I went ahead and ran over to my buddy's parts truck, pulled this line, which is that line. So I guess I'll get up under here and snake this thing in. So from what me and my friends have pretty much talked about is, I thought it from the beginning, but I am not an automotive expert. I'm a good fabricator, but not an automotive expert. Even though I've been doing this for a number of years now. So I like to ask some friends for some input. And I thought the master cylinder was bad from the start, due to the fact that it didn't push any fluid to the front brakes, even though we had the lines mixed up. It doesn't make much sense to be able to get fluid all the way out to the bottom of the proportioning valve and be able to push fluid all the way out to the line and be able to blow through clear to the hose through the bleeder. Like something, this is the source of the fluid. Wasn't getting fluid, even though with no restrictions it was flowing. You're bigger. So we've got new studs in. I ran over to the parts truck and grabbed them and slapped them in real quick. There we go. A new to us master cylinder that doesn't look that great. It's okay. I know where another one's at, in the parts truck. So this came out of the other parts truck. The one that I cut up. Well, there's absolutely nothing from the pedals after doing all that. So we are on our third master cylinder. This is the one I just put on yesterday afternoon, and it was not pushing anything out of these fittings. So I went ahead and just snapped it off real quick. Put the one from the parts truck over the property on it, and it seems to be pushing out fluid from both of these fittings pretty good.
Ready?
Ready. You holding?
Yeah.
All right, go up and push it back down.
Alright.
All right, try and pump it 3 times and hold it.
Alright.
Okay, do that again.
Alright.
All right, try that again.
Alright.
All right, try that again.
Alright.
All right, do that for me one more time.
Alright.
So even after that, I went back and got the juice pipelators. They go all the way down to the proportioning valve. And I messed up, and let me tell you, they're not easy to get down in there or to get them bolted back onto the proportioning valve. So I think I may have cross-threaded in the proportioning valve, and I mean, to me it doesn't look like the threads are messed up on the line, but the threads are probably messed up in the proportioning valve, and honestly the proportioning valve is probably the thing that's actually messed up. It would help if I had a little bit more knowledge of these brake systems. I do have a spare proportioning valve, and I think that's what we're gonna try. That's the last thing that I can think of. But for right now, I think we're gonna call it the end of this video. I relentlessly tried to get these brakes fixed, and nothing. Not happy with it. So, catch us on the next one when we go to cut the floor open on this one. Well, we'll probably reroute the fuel line to the gas tank, and maybe we'll get these brakes fixed. I'm just gonna ignore them for now because I'm tired of this. Alright, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you like this video and you enjoyed watching me fail at trying to figure out simple brake system, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a good one. See you on the next one.